a book over 600 years old that scientists still cannot decipher. Even with the latest AI technology, it does not belong to any known language on Earth today. And no clues about its author have ever been found. Who wrote this mysterious manuscript? And what secrets does it contain? This is the Voynich Manuscript. It contains more than 200 pages and nearly 200,000 characters. Its encryption system is extremely complex, arguably one of the most advanced encryption methods of 600 years ago. A single book has puzzled humanity for 600 years without being solved. And it may never be solved. The story begins in 1912. In Rome, Italy, at the nearby Villa Mondragon, a man named Wilfrid Voynich, an American book dealer, entered the underground storage room of a Jesuit university library. He specialized in trading rare and valuable books across Europe. He searched everywhere for old books released by churches. That day, he opened a long-forgotten chest filled with medieval manuscripts. On top lay a thick book bound in parchment. Voynich casually flipped through a few pages and froze. He later wrote in his memoirs that he almost instantly realized what he had found. He could not recognize a single word in the book, but the pages were filled with bizarre and astonishing colored illustrations. Plants that do not exist on Earth, women bathing in green liquid, and 9 moons linked by stars, suspended within strange geometric diagrams. He purchased the book and spent the next 18 years trying to decipher it. He consulted the leading cryptography experts in America, including Professor Newbold of the University of Pennsylvania, and even intelligence officers from World War I, who had broken German military codes. Everyone who received the manuscript would first fall silent, then become obsessed, and after a long time, quietly withdraw all their claims of decipherment. Voynich himself never discovered what exactly he had purchased. He died in New York in 1930. The manuscript was inherited by his widow Ethel and eventually, in 1969, became part of Yale University's permanent collection as MS 408. From that day on, it officially became humanity's greatest linguistic black hole. And like the pyramids or Stonehenge, the Voynich Manuscript inspires awe not through size. It is only a small book, yet it possesses an extraordinary sense of mystery. About 234 pages survive today. The parchment originally may have exceeded 270 pages, with some pages already missing before Voynich discovered it. The cover bears no markings and no signature, based on its illustrations. The manuscript can be divided into 6 sections. The first is the botanical section, the largest part of the book, dedicated to plants and herbs. The second is astronomy, containing 12 pages depicting star arrangements, the sun, moon, and zodiac signs. The third section is biological. The fourth concerns the cosmos, with 9 circular seal-like diagrams, filled with stellar patterns. The fifth is pharmacological, where plants and herbs appear again, alongside numerous intricate jars and containers. The sixth section is recipes, with no illustrations. Scientists believe it may be an index of formulas or prescriptions. Yet the continuous text in this section contains no punctuation, with the handwriting flowing uninterrupted from beginning to end. All 170,000 characters appear flawless, as if the scribe was never afraid of making mistakes, or as if any mistake would be impossible for anyone to detect. Even more strangely, nearly all the illustrations in the book seem half-recognizable. Some herbal features clearly resemble ancient herbals, while parts of the star charts echo traditions of European astrology. The compositions of the women also resemble motifs found in alchemical manuscripts, but the other half remains completely unidentifiable. Plant branches and leaves begin normally, then suddenly transform into unrelated root structures. The flowers seem to be floating forms belonging to no known family. You can tell what the artist intended, but you do not recognize what was actually drawn. The key question is the writing truly a language? Experts who helped crack the Enigma code during World War II also studied it privately. The Voynich Manuscript attracted the attention of America's father of cryptography, Herbert Yardley, as well as the legendary cryptologists, the Friedmans, who broke Japan's purple cipher. Even after more than 10 years, they could not decipher it. Friedman concluded that the manuscript employed a writing system specifically designed to resist decipherment. Unlike any known cipher in human history, it might never be solved. In 2001, researchers applied spectral analysis to the manuscript and found that its character patterns closely resemble languages, such as English and Latin. It was clearly not random gibberish. In 2013, physicists used network modeling to compare the manuscript with 15 languages. They concluded that it possesses the vocabulary and sentence structures of a genuine language, with a complete and coherent structure. Simply put, from a mathematical and data perspective, it can be stated with near certainty. Yet to this day, no one can understand even a single word of it. claiming to have discovered hidden ancient symbols within the manuscript strokes and translated its contents. Yet these claims were treated as a joke by the academic community. Others suggested that the manuscript is an abbreviation of a foreign language with omitted vowels. Only a few short phrases could be translated, and the text still could not be fully read. Some linguists identified possible names of plants, animals, and celestial bodies, but the theory failed to fit the entire text. Others believe that the script was written in reverse, and that ancient Persian writing could explain certain religious terms. However, there is no historical evidence to support this idea. The latest research suggests that the manuscript was written by a physician serving the nobility to encrypt private medical knowledge related to women and contraception. Some illustrations appear connected to fertility, but this still cannot explain the manuscript's extensive astronomical content. The mystery remains unsolved. Then, in September 2024, multispectral imaging data made the entire story even more confusing. The principle behind multispectral imaging is actually quite simple. When medieval iron gall ink was used for writing, the iron content created oxidation bonds on the parchment surface through corrosion. Even if the handwriting was scraped away or faded, iron molecules remain bonded to the parchment's collagen fibers. Under ultraviolet or infrared light, they fluoresce again, revealing the original writing. Several years ago, researchers scanned portions of the Voynich Manuscript using multispectral imaging. In 2024, these scans were analyzed and released by Lisa Fagan Davis, executive director of the Medieval Academy of America. The result revealed 3 lines of letters completely invisible to the naked eye. That this is a fully developed language, written in the margin of the manuscript's opening page. These letters were not written in the Voynich script itself, but in a normal Latin alphabet writing system. Davis initially concluded that they had been left by a previous owner. While attempting to translate or interpret the manuscript, the notes were written on the opening page as a translation attempt, and eventually faded away with time. Only multispectral imaging brought them back to light. This means that before us, there was at least one other person trying to do exactly what we are doing now, and they became stuck at the same point. On the other side of every decipherment theory, there has always been another possibility. A cold but entirely logical one. The manuscript may have been meaningless from beginning to end. In 2004, computer scientist Gordon Rugg of Keele University in the UK published a paper proposing a hypothesis. He argued that all you need is a card table with 3 columns, along with a collection of prefixes and suffix syllables, which can then be randomly combined to generate text that appears to be in natural language. At the same time, it can perfectly deceive statistical analysis. He called this method the card and grill. Such a technique could certainly have been reproduced using medieval technology. Using this method, Rugg spent only 15 minutes creating a sample of a fabricated language that closely resembled the Voynich script. His argument was simple. If a 15th century con artist knew a little about cryptography and wanted to create a mysterious ancient book that nobody could understand, then sell it to wealthy nobles for a fortune, the Voynich manuscript would be the result. But when the carbon-14 dating results arrived, Rugg's hypothesis ran into a major obstacle. In 2011, the University of Arizona tested for parchment sheets using accelerator mass spectrometry with accuracy within a single year. The production date of the parchment was narrowed down to between 1404 and 1438. Parchment from that era was not particularly expensive, but the iron gall ink and mineral pigments were professional-grade materials. The time required to draw and color all the illustrations would conservatively amount to dozens or even hundreds of hours. If this was the work of a fraudster, the production costs may have exceeded the value of the gold earned from selling it. Imagine stealing parchment from a monastery in the early 15th century, grinding mineral ores to produce malachite and azurite pigments, and carefully painting the veins of plants that never even existed. If this was a hoax, the exact same pharmaceutical process and coding structure as independent verification. Meanwhile, Italian and British scholars separately proposed complete models based on a mixture of Palladi and Latin Italian languages, and both claimed to have translated verifiable portions of the book. In other words, after 6 centuries, it still has not produced any academic consensus. In the climate-controlled vault beneath Yale University's library, catalogued as MS408, it remains wrapped in layers of thick acid-free paper, shielded from sunlight, dust, and fingerprints. It has outlasted the collapse of the Holy Roman Empire, survived the Black Death and the 30 Years' War, witnessed the rise of modern cryptography, from simple transposition ciphers to quantum key distribution. It has endured the lifetime efforts of more than 20 elite cryptanalysts, and seen at least 3 generations of computer languages come and go. Yet it seems to have no intention of answering anyone.